Levante are a Spanish football club who have spent 13 out of the last 20 seasons in La Liga. However, since being relegated in the 21-22 season, Levante have struggled. As in the 2022-2023 season, they did lose in the playoff final and then follow that up with an 8th place finish last season. They are two very disappointing seasons for Levante. It wasn't long ago that they was actually representing Spain in the Europa League. So I want to get Levante back to them heights, get them competing in Europe again. So today in FC24, the last rebuild of the game, we are taking charge of Levante with the end goal of winning them a Champions League trophy. Now, if you do enjoy the content, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's now get into FC24, take charge of Levante and get them to a Champions League final. So this is the Levante team we've loaded into in FC24, and I have to say it is pretty good for the Segunda division. However, I'm not a fan of the 4-4-2 in the Spanish football, so we're definitely going to be changing that formation. And the formation we have decided on for this rebuild is the 4-2-3-1, as I think this is much more suited to Spanish football, and this formation currently gets the best out of our current bunch of players. Now, we do have quite a few young players at the club, which is really nice to see, but on the flip side, we do have quite a few players over 30, and two of them are key first team players in Andreas Fernandez, the goalkeeper, and Ander Kappa, the right back. Now, for me, this means we need to bring in a new right back in season 1, as Kappa, at 31-year-old, will start decreasing. So getting him out the team early and bringing in a high potential right back will definitely help us push Levante up the league table. Now, I'm not too concerned about changing the goalkeeper, as we've already got a good goalkeeper at the club in Femenias, who's 24-year-old and 70 rated. Now, a position that I do actually really want to improve in is the left wing position, as we've currently got a right winger playing there. We don't actually have a good solid left midfielder at the club at all, so in this transfer window our main priorities will be right back and left midfield, and we will have a transfer budget of 12 million euros, which is pretty decent. Now, the team strategy we're going to go for in this rebuild is the tiki-taka tactical vision. I do want to employ a possession-based style of football with Levante, and I want to play some really eye-catching football on our way to the Champions League final. Now, we do have a really solid young left back on loan at the club from Barcelona in Alex Valle, and our first order of business of this rebuild will be to bring Valle to the club on a permanent deal. And Valle is officially ours for 2 million euros, and it is now time to get stuck into the transfer market and bring a right back and left midfielder to the club. So we have made our first official incoming of season 1, and we have once again on this channel made use of the 2-year loan tactic, as we have brought Julio Enciso to the club from Brighton on a 2-year loan with an optional future fee of 5 million euros, which I think is an excellent deal. He's 19 years old, 71 rated, really well-rounded stats, and it's obvious, we all know what happens. In 2 years time he'll be worth well more than 5 million, and we will get a steal once again. And our scouts have also been hard at work looking for us a new right back to bring to the club, and we have identified Marc Pabil of Almeria. He is 71 rated, 20-year-old, loads of play styles, pretty nice stats. We have used him before and he was very good for us, and we can bring him to the club for a maximum of 6 million, so he definitely falls into our price range, but we are going to try and get the price of this deal down. Marc Pabil is officially a Levante player for 4.2 million euros, and in this transfer window we have cleared out a lot of the deadwood, recuperated a lot of transfer budget, and I'll run you through the outgoings right now. Roger Ibanez has joined Real Zaragoza for 920 grand. Alejandro Cantera has joined Real Oviedo for 3.1 million. Sergio Postigo has joined Hull City for 450 grand. We have sent youngster Carlos Espe out on loan to Burgos Cia. Brugge has joined BSC Young Boys for 1.6 million. Alex Belser has joined Dusseldorf on loan for 2 seasons. They've also sold Mohamed Boldini to Austria Wien for 3 million, meaning we have now got 9 million euros in the bank. And I know I said I was happy with the goalkeeper, but I am going to use this 9 million to replace Femenias in goal, and we are going to look to bring in a high potential goalkeeper in his place. So our search for a goalkeeper has brought us to Philippe Jorgensen of Villarreal. He's 21 years old, 73 rated, really like the look of his stats. He does fall into our price range, as the max Villarreal are going to want for him is 7.7 million euros. I really feel like Jorgensen would be an amazing signing in season 1 and really help get us back to La Liga. And for 6 million euros, Jorgensen is in, and that rounds off an excellent first transfer window. And after the signings of Enciso, Jorgensen, Pabil, and making Valle a permanent signing, this is how the team is looking heading into season number 1. I think we do have a pretty strong team on paper, only 2 players in the starting 11 below 70 rated, and a relatively young side, so there's plenty of room for growth across the entire team. Got plenty of reasons to be positive going into the first season, and I'm really hoping we can have a good go at promotion in season 1. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of the season and see how Levante got on in our first season as manager. So we've arrived at the end of season 1, boys, and it was a roaring success on the pitch as we won La Liga high promotion, finishing top of the league, losing just 6 of our 42 games, conceding just 39 goals all season as well, which is really impressive, beating Eibar to the title by just 2 points, and in season 2 we will be back in La Liga with Levante. We gave a good account of ourselves in the Copa de España, getting to the round of 16, but unfortunately Barcelona beat us 3-1. So this is the Levante team that won La Liga high promotion, and it is definitely looking much stronger on paper. Jorgensen is our best player, and we do have some really solid players like Pabil, Munoz, Enciso and Fabricio going into La Liga. Now heading into La Liga, I do want to strengthen our back line, so I am going to be looking to bring in a centre back to replace Munoz, I think, as he is 30 years old and will start declining very soon. And I'm also thinking I want to bring a central attacking midfielder to the club, because we don't actually have a out-and-out attacking midfielder at the club. And I'm going to drop Lozano back to centre midfield and bring an out-and-out attacking midfielder to the club in season 2. And if we have any leftover money, we'll reevaluate and see where we want to improve the squad. But as of right now, it will be an attacking midfielder and a centre-back. So in terms of stats, our top scorer this season was Fabricio, getting 25 goals and 8 assists, but our best player was Sergio Lozano, who got 18 goals and 20 assists. 38 goal involvements in 45 games. That is insane. So all in all, that is an excellent season 1. We are back in La Liga. We need to get the right quality through the door to give us a chance at staying up, and I'm hoping with the right additions we'll be very clear of the relegation zone come the end of season 2. So we have arrived in season 2, and the board have given us 38 million euros to improve our squad. So as we know, we are in the market for a centre back, and we have identified a player who is very, very young but also looking really, really good. Christian Mosquera of Valencia is 20 years old, 76 rated, 6'2", and he falls well into our price range, as Valencia are going to want 17.6 million for him at the maximum. We are going to try and get the deal down. I think Mosquera will be an outstanding signing for us, so let's get him to Levante. And we have got an excellent deal for Mosquera, as we have only paid 15 million for his services. The one issue that I did have with the Levante squad going into season 2 is I think we're carrying quite a bit of dead weight, so we have had a mass exodus in this transfer window, and we've actually recuperated a nice amount of transfer budget along the way. Kicking things off, Andreas Garcia has joined Orlando City for 1.3 million. Edgar Alcanis has joined CFR Cluj for 800 grand. Enric Franchiesa has joined Heidenheim for 1.75 million. We have sent youngsters Marcos Navarro on loan to Leganés and Carlos Espe to Spezia. Pablo Sunat has joined Al Shabab for 1.9 million. Alex Belsa has joined CF Montreal for 1.45 million. And Angel Aljabia has joined Osasuna for 2.8 million. Leaving us with 28 million euros in the bank, and I have eyed up a really exciting attacking midfielder, as we have identified Pablo Torre from Barcelona. He is 21 years old, 77 rated. I love the look of his stats. However, this is going to be a pricey deal, as this could use up our entire budget. Barca could demand 28.2 million up front. I'm going to hope to get the deal down to a decent value, and hopefully Torre is wearing a Levante shirt at the end of the transfer window. And we get an excellent deal for Torre, paying 23.5 million euros for his services, but he is now the highest paid player in Levante's history. And that means we have only got 1 million euros left in our transfer budget, so it's safe to say there'll be no more incomings in this window. And that means this will be the Levante team to take us into season 2 and attempt to stay up in La Liga. Mosquera and Torre are excellent young players who instantly make us much better on the pitch. I'm hoping players like Enciso, Fabricio, Alvarez and Pubel can keep growing as well at good rates. And I just want to see Levante at the end of the season out of the relegation zone. And heading into the new season, we also have quite a decent bench with good options like Munoz, Gomez, Karanashvili and Martinez to come on and swing games back in our favour if we're losing. So honestly lads, I cannot see any more transfer business happening in this window. We've cut down the squad really nicely. I'm really happy with the amount of players we've got at the club now. We've brought in 2 young high quality wonder kids, and we've only got 1 million left in the bank. So as of right now, all I think that's left to do is simulate forward straight through to the end of season 2, and hopefully we have stayed in La Liga. So season 2 is over, boys, and wow, honestly, really surprised by our performance. We finished 8th in La Liga on 60 points, winning 18 of our 38 games, and actually scoring 74 goals in the process, which is insane. And looking at the league table, we was only actually 3 points off European football, which is a massive step in the right direction. And honestly, this has kind of blown me away a little bit. Oh, boys, it's absolute heartbreak in the Copa de España. We were so close to winning Levante a major trophy, but unfortunately, we just meet the best team in world football, Real Madrid, in the final, and they ease past us 3-0, but getting to a final is an achievement in itself, and at some point in this rebuild, I'm sure we will win the Copa de España. So impressive results on the pitch, followed by very impressive growth throughout the team. We have now got 5 players over 80 rated in the team in Fabricio, Torre, Enciso, Mosquera and Pubil. Now the first order of business of Season 3 will be to make Enciso's loan deal permanent for just €5 million. That means we're getting a 21-year-old 80 rated left winger, 5 million, absolute steal. I really hope since you've been subscribed to this channel, you have been using the loan to buys, and if you have been using the loan to buys, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, where else do we improve the rest of this team? Now, I was genuinely tempted to bring 2 central midfielders to the club, but I just don't think we're going to have that big of a budget. So we will definitely be bringing at least 1 central midfielder to the club to boost our ability in midfield. And you know what, boys? We did concede a lot of goals this season. I'm genuinely tempted to bring in a centre-back to replace De La Fuente, as he's 77 rated, he's not going to grow by much more, and we did actually identify a couple of really good young centre-backs last season. So our top scorer this season was Fabricio. He got 21 goals and 6 assists in 44 games, and Pablo Torre had an excellent first season as a Levante player, getting 19 goals and 8 assists. Then Lozano and Alvarez also had really good seasons. Season 2 was an absolutely massive success. We're now getting into Season 3, bringing some good players through the door, and hopefully we can get into Europe in Season 3. So we've arrived in Season 3, and lads, our transfer budget is very disappointing. We've only actually got €37 million, so we are going to have to sell a few players, and hopefully we'll have enough money then to bring in a centre-back and a central midfielder. As of right now though, the main priority is getting a central midfielder through the door. Now, despite our really poor transfer budget, one piece of business we will definitely be doing in this window is making Enciso's loan deal permanent for just €5 million. 80 rated 21-year-old, 5 million, can't go wrong. This is going to chip away a lot of our budget. And there we go, boys. Enciso signs a 5-year deal for €5 million, and this is excellent business for the football club. But it does leave us with €31 million in the bank, and our main priority right now is getting a central midfielder through the door. So lads, we have actually managed to get a central midfielder through the door, but it has decimated our transfer budget. We have signed Hugo Larsson from Frankfurt. He is 21 years old, 78 rated. This guy's an exciting prospect. He is so good in FC24, and we have not yet used him. And we have paid €30.8 million for him. We've got an absolutely outstanding deal, but this does leave our chances of signing a centre-back in jeopardy, as after the signing of Larsson, we are left with just €1 million in the bank, which could be our only signing of the summer. Now, we do actually have a really good youth academy defender, Andreas Alvarez, who's 72 rated and 18 years old. He has been out on loan for the last 2 seasons, and he has grown quite a bit, but he's just not at that level currently to break into the first team and get us into European competition. We've had a bit of good news as well, boys. We've won our pre-season tournament, meaning €4 million has been added to our transfer budget, and we have also been hard at work selling some players, and I'll run you through the outgoings right now. Youth academy graduate Humberto Insua has joined Ross County for 140 grand. Ivan Romero has joined KA Ghent for 2.45 million. Alfonso Pastor has joined KV Kortrijk for 1 million, and we have also sold Alex Muno to RC Lens for 8.2 million. So we have now got €13 million in the bank, and we are going to try our best to bring in a centre-back with this money. And do you know what, boys? I have had a bit of an idea. Dean Hodgson is an absolutely outstanding young centre-back in FC24. He's 73 rated, 20-year-old. He's only 4 overalls below De La Fuente, and I'm pretty confident if we sign him, he will grow by at least 4 overalls this season. So we are going to bring Dean Hodgson to the club. The max we're going to pay for him is €7.9 million, so we can definitely afford to pay his transfer fee and his wages, but we have to be quick, as Borussia Dortmund are trying to sign the lad. Let's get him to Levante, put our trust in a youngster, and hopefully this pays off. And we have brought Dean Hodgson to the club for €6.3 million. And that rounds off our transfer business, as we have got €5 million in the bank, which we are going to use to bring in a coach and also bring some youth players into the club. So after the signings of Hodgson and Larsson, this will be the Levante team to go into Season 3. We have slightly weakened at the back, which is the complete opposite of what I said I wanted us to do. But I do feel like with a full season behind him, Hodgson can grow to nearly 80 rated this season, and he will definitely surpass De La Fuente in terms of overall. The rest of the team looks really good. I do think we've got a good chance of getting at least Europa League this season. I really hope we can get it. But this season, boys, we have actually got European football, as despite finishing 8th last season in the league, boys, we are actually in the Europa Conference League. I have no idea how that works, but we have got Young Boys, Viking FK and Hearts in our group. I think we have actually got a very good chance of winning the Conference League this time round. I think we're probably one of the stronger sides in the tournament. So we've now got European competition to play for. and we're going to try and get into at least the Europa League this season. That would be incredible. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of season 3 and see how we got on the pitch. So we have arrived at the end of season 3, and what an absolute massive success this season has been, as we have actually finished in the top 4, meaning in season 4 we are playing in the Champions League. We finished on 70 points, had 30 goal difference, only lost 8 of our 38 games. That is an insane season, and the progression that we are making as Levante, boss, is staggering. Now this season we were in the Supercopa. I'm not sure why, but we lost in the semi-finals to Barcelona. In the Copa de España, this tournament is breaking my heart. We got all the way to the semis, took a lead into the second leg, and ultimately lost 3-1 at home, 4-3 over 2 legs, meaning no Copa de España for us this season. But boys, we did actually go on to win the Europa League. We smashed FC24 4-0 in the final, and it's not the Champions League, but we have brought European glory to Levante in the form of the Conference League. So this is how the team is looking after a very successful season 3, and the growth has been outstanding once again this season. We only have 3 players in the starting 11 below 70 rated, and Hodgson did say he would outgrow all of De La Fuente this season. They are both now the same overall, proving it was actually a good bit of business to sign him. Now, talking of business, we've got to get the deals right in season 4, as we are now in the Champions League and we want to stay there. I'm thinking I want to bring in a central midfielder to replace Lozano, as he is not really growing too much anymore. And another player who's kind of stopped growing is Alvarez on the right wing. So I think a right midfielder and a centre midfielder definitely gets us looking stronger on the pitch, and hopefully that can help us establish ourselves as a Champions League side consistently. So in terms of stats, our best player this season was Fabricio, our striker, getting 44 goals and 12 assists, which is an absolutely crazy return. Pablo Torre was excellent as well, getting 29 goals and 9 assists, and the man we're actually looking to replace, Alvarez, scored 21 goals and got 7 assists. It's always the guys we want to replace who do so well, but he will still have a part to play off the bench. So season 3 with Levante was one of our most successful seasons in all of FC24. Let's get into season 4 and see if we can continue progressing on the pitch. So we have arrived in season 4, boys, and this is where things get interesting, as we have got 123 million euros to improve our team. So the board have backed us to the hilt this summer by giving us a massive transfer budget, but we are going to start things off in this transfer window with a very sensible signing, as we are looking to bring in a player we have actually used before in FC24 who grew well over 90 rated, and that man is Assane Diao of Real Betis. He is 80 rated and 20 years old, high low work rates. This guy is a monster in FC24, and because his contract is expiring in 11 months time, we can get him on the cheap, as the max we're paying for him is just over his market value. So we are definitely bringing Assane Diao to the football club this summer, and seriously, we have just got an insane deal, 28 million euros for Assane Diao. So before we carry on signing players in this transfer window, we have had 2 massive first team outgoings. Adrian De La Fuente has joined RC Lens for 13 million euros, as his place in the starting 11 has now completely gone. And boys, we had a bid come in for Sergio Lozano, we just could not turn down. 19.2 million euros from Marseille. Just wait until you see who we've got lined up to replace him, as we have now got 120 million euros back in our bank account, and we have identified one of the most exciting Spanish centre midfielders in the game, Gabri Veiga, currently playing for Newcastle United. He is 85 rated, 24-year-old, really attack minded, but this is going to be a very costly deal, as Newcastle could demand up to 108 million, so we're going to have to get our business head on and try and get a good deal for Veiga, because he is just too good not to sign. And what a signing this is. 91 million euros brings Gabri Veiga to Levante. Well, that's our transfer window done, boys, in terms of incomings, but there has been a few outgoings. Carlos Espe also left the club, joining FC Familia for 3.8 million. We would then send out a few players on loan in Dani Gomez, Marco Navarro and Ledesma, who's a youth academy player. So that caps off our transfer window. Our Champions League group has been drawn, and it's a very interesting group, as we have got City, Porto and Copenhagen. I do think we should have enough to get through this group, but there's some really difficult ties there, especially away to Man City and Porto. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of season 4 and see how Levante got on in our first season in the Champions League. So we've arrived at the end of season 4, boys, and I'm just going to say now, I absolutely hate Real Madrid. They've beat us to the league title by just 2 points, and lads, it gets even worse than this. They have beaten us in the Copa de España final 2-1. Once again, we have lost in the final of this tournament, and they also knocked us out of the Champions League. So not only did they win the league title by just 2 points from us, but they also knocked us out of the Copa de España and the Champions League. We seriously owe Real Madrid some payback in a future season. So this is how the team is looking at the end of season 4, and we have got so many world-class players in our team team now, like Torre, Viga, Larson, Asandio and Mosquera. Bricio also added to that list. So we have actually got a really strong team on paper, and the bench is starting to look really, really good as well. I think though, going into season 5, we need to add some more world-class players to our team, and I'm thinking a new left back to replace Valle, and also, boys, I am considering bringing in a new goalkeeper to replace Jorgensen, because our attack is just looking so strong. I think that will probably be our end game attack unless anyone gets a serious injury. I do think if we bring a left back and a goalkeeper, and it's going to give us a better chance at actually dethroning Real Madrid. Now, when we look at the stats, Fabricio did have a massive injury this season, causing him to miss 20 plus games. He actually scored 24 goals and 7 assists in 38 games, which is insanely impressive. Torre had a great season as well, getting 23 goals and 16 assists, and Viga's first season as Levante player was outstanding, getting 20 goals and 11 assists. So on the pitch, we was absolutely excellent this season. It's just all about dethroning Real Madrid in season 5. So we have arrived in season 5, and we have got a monstrous transfer budget of 191 million euros, which is going to help us out massively. Now, this season, we are not holding back with our transfer targets. We know we want a goalkeeper. We have just seen that Gregor Kobel, who is currently one of the best goalkeepers in the world, is out of contract next summer. He's 90 rated, 29-year-old. He is unbelievable, and we can actually get him for well below his market value due to his expiring contract. I think this is an absolute no-brainer. One of the best goalkeepers in Europe for below his market value all day of the week. We are signing this man right now. And for 73 million, we have brought Kobel to Levante, and this is the exact type of signing we need to be making if we're going to dethrone Real Madrid. And after the signing of Kobel, we've still got 113 million euros to bring in a left back, and I'm going to go all out to bring in one of the best in Europe. And before we progress on any further with incomings, we have had a few outgoings. Dani Gomez has joined Heidenheim for 4.6 million. We have sold academy graduate Eduardo de Souza to St. Louis City for 1.4 million. Oscar Clemente has joined Morelen's FC for 1.6 million. We have sold goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen. He would not accept terms as a rotation player, so we have sold him to Cagliari for 32.9 million. And we have now got 148 million euros in the bank. I can't lie, boys, this transfer window has just got a little bit silly. We have just signed Alejandro Balde from Tottenham Hotspur for 136 million euros. Balde is 23 years old, 88 rated, the best young left back in the game, and he is officially ours. And that has decimated our transfer budget, as we have gone from 191 million euros to just 5 million in just 2 signings. And take into consideration as well, we have sold quite a few players. That is insane. But with the additions of Kobel and Balde to that team, that is absolutely insane on paper, and we have got to be challenging Real Madrid this season. We've arrived at the end of the transfer window. Obviously, there's going to be no more incomings after all the money we've spent, but we have sold one more player. Georgi Koronashvili has joined Racing Club for 4.4 million euros. That rounds off our transfer window, and our Champions League group has been drawn. And our Champions League group does not actually look too bad. The club who we signed Balde from, Spurs, are in our group. We've also got Rangers and Dynamo Kiev. I do think we should definitely be getting through this group, boys. We should have far too much for all 3 of them sides. Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of season 5 and see if we did. We've arrived at the end of season 5, boys, and we have finally got one over on Real Madrid, as we have won the La Liga title by just 1 point on 89 points. 1 clear of Real Madrid, 3 clear of Barcelona, and Levante, after 5 seasons, are finally the champions of Spain. And we would also go on to win the Supercopa, smashing Atletico Madrid in the final 4-1. And we may as well go on to make it a treble, boys, as we've also won the Copa de España, beating Racing 2-1 in the final. What a season for Levante. We just need to check how we got on in the Champions League. So we've already got 3 trophies, but there will be no Champions League final, as AC Milan did go on to win the tournament. We did get all the way to the semis, where unfortunately Milan beat us 3-2 over 2 legs. They were deserved winners, so work definitely still needs to be done if we're going to win the Champions League. So this is how our treble winning side is looking at the end of season 5. We have now got 2 90+ rated players in the team in Viga and Kobel, with Balde, Larson and Torre all not far behind. So where I improve this team in season 6 is very, very difficult. And in all honesty, boys, as of right now, I've not 100% decided what I want to do, so I'm going to have a little bit more time to think about who I want to bring into the football club next summer. So Fabrizio had another excellent season, getting 40 goals and 8 assists in 57 games, but I just want to point your attention to Pablo Torre. What a signing this guy has been. 38 goals and 11 assists in 57 games. That is 49 goal contributions in 57 games. That is insane. So that is season 5 boxed off. We now need to get into season 6, and our only focus is just winning the Champions League. We have arrived in season 6 and we have got a whopping 214 million euros in our bank account. So as we know, boys, it is the end of FC24, so we are going to have a little bit of fun, seeing as we've got a massive transfer budget. We have only gone and brought Erling Haaland to Levante, paying 161.7 million euros up front, and we have also offered up Fabrizio as part of the deal. Throughout the entirety of FC24, we have not used the likes of Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe because it is literally just impossible to sign. I've got a massive budget. We had a 100 million euro rated striker. Why not bring Erling Haaland to Levante for our final ever FC24 rebuild? So Erling Haaland will obviously be our only signing of season 6. This is how the team is looking now that we've got Haaland spearheading our attack. We have had Torre and Balde grow to 90 rated in the off season as well. This team is absolutely insane. Our bench is looking good as well. Plenty of options. Surely this is the season we get to a Champions League final. So our transfer window is now officially done in terms of incomings. We haven't let anyone leave the club this summer other than youth players going out on loan. That means our window is short. Haaland the only signing, and our Champions League group has been drawn. We have drawn Atalanta, Salzburg and Dynamo Kiev. This again is a very, very good group, and I do expect us to top it. Simulate forward straight through to the end of season 6, and I'm just hoping to see us in a Champions League final because we've literally won everything else. We've arrived at the end of season 6, boys, and we have had a little bit of regression on the pitch as we have only managed to finish 3rd in La Liga, and that is down to the fact that we drew 12 of our games this season. We only lost 4 league games out of 38, which was the lowest in the entire division, but we could just not convert draws to wins this season, which seen us drop to 3rd in the league, which is really disappointing. But boys, we have won the Supercopa for the 2nd consecutive season, beating Real Madrid 2-1 in the final, and we have also gone back-to-back in the Copa de España, smashing Barcelona 4-0 in the final, and this has given me some confidence going into the Champions League. And boys, we will be in the Champions League final, and interestingly, we are taking on Erling Haaland's former employers, Man City. Now in the group stage, we whitewashed, went 6 for 6, 18 points. Excellent performance in the group. In the round of 16, we played AC Milan and got our revenge from last season as we thumped them 5-1 over 2 legs. We would then go on to beat Spanish rivals Barcelona 5-2 over 2 legs, setting up a tie with another Spanish side who actually won the Liga, Atletico Madrid, meaning we did manage to get one over on the league winners. We beat them 5-2 over 2 legs to set up a tie with Man City. So looking at our team, boys, something that sticks out like a sore thumb. Both of our first choice central midfield players are actually injured now. Larson can play the game. His stamina's not the best, but we are going to start him. Vega, who's our 91 rated centre midfielder, he has no chance of playing. He is out for good. This always happens. We always get to a Champions League final and one of our best players gets injured. I knew for a fact it was going to happen. We seem to get no injuries at all throughout the entire rebuild. Then when we get to a final, someone's out injured. It's BS. That means Estrella will have to play. He's been at the club for a while. I think I might have signed him as a free agent mid-season to meet an objective at some point. That does significantly weaken our midfield, but we do have some insane players starting this game like Cabell, Balde, Haaland, Torre, Dio, Mosquera, Hoyt, and the rest of the team's insane. We just have a 71 rated player in there and a half-fit Larson who we may need to take off at half-time. Now in terms of stats, Erling Haaland was insane. What a signing, boys. I knew he would be. 49 goals and 5 assists. That's absolutely brilliant. But once again, Pablo Torre, this guy is class, boys. 35 goals, 15 assists. A real hidden gem who we have just managed to unearth right at the end of FC24. So all that's left to do is head to the Civitas Metropolitano to take on Man City with a slightly weakened side. So here we go, boys. Champions League final time. And interestingly, Fabrizio lines up front for Manchester City. This should be very, very interesting. Like that. What a ball. Oh, I've seen Ireland. I've seen him. Hubel. Oh, my. No way. Oh, my God. Just couldn't get there. What a tackle by Larson. He's in. He's in. Erling Haaland. Nope. Oh, what a save by Edison, to be fair. Oh, no. Don't let him shoot. Don't let Fabrizio score. What a block. Thank God. I don't want Fabrizio scoring. City have got some... Ref, that's a red card. That has to be a red card. It's from behind. Come on. Get him gone. How is that only a yellow? It's clean from behind. He's swiped us out from behind. How is this a yellow card? It's two-footed. Haaland again. Cuts across, Larson. Ah, there it is. After so much pressure, boys, it's actually a really nice ball by Dio to Haaland, who turns creator, lays it across, and Larson, he ain't missing from there, boys. 1-0. That's going to be half-time, boys. Really, really comfortable half for us. We've been well on top. Just need to see this game out and win the Champions League for the last time in FC24. I can't lie, boys. I would absolutely love to get a goal with Erling Haaland against City. Not give a foul. Haaland, no. Haaland. There it is, boys. Finally, we have a goal with Erling Haaland. It's 2-0. All about the wing play from Seesaw. Insane ball in that. And Haaland from the 6-yard box. He is never, ever missing. And I think that's this game wrapped up, boys. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. What a never. This ref is absolutely out of his mind. That is never a penalty in a million years. Got all the ball. He fails to send off Nunes in the first half, and he gives got all the ball. It is a penalty. It is a penalty. Maybe got a little bit too. Oh, it's Fabrizio as well. Don't let him score. And Fabrizio scores an excellent penalty. So Fabrizio scores against his former club as well. This could be an interesting last 20 minutes. Oh, NC, so he's got space. He's got space, and that's game over, boys. That's absolutely brilliant from Julio NC. So another chance for City here when he get. What a tackle by Hudson. Can we get another goal on counter? Yeah. Haaland, no way. Come on. Let's get a fourth. Let's wrap the game up. They've got so many men forward. He's too quick. Haaland, it's 4-1. That is game over. He's never going to miss. You cannot keep giving Haaland chances. Too much pace, too much power. That is the tie. Done. And there's the final whistle, boys. For the last time in FC24, we have won the Champions League. In 6 seasons, we have taken Levante from the Segunda Division to Champions of Europe. All that's left to do, boys, for the final time in FC24 is lift the Champions League trophy. It's Mosquera who's got the honours. What a performance in the final. And Levante are the champions of Europe, and that is our final FC24 rebuild boxed off. So just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video. If you have enjoyed the content, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, as we are trying to get 5k by the end of the year. I just want to say one final thank you for all the support through FC24. We've taken the channel from 300 subscribers to well over 3,000, and I will see you next time when we do our first rebuild of FC25.